There is a silent conversation happening right now, in the deepest, darkest corridor of your being. It never sleeps. It never pauses for breath. It is a whisper that screams, echoing against the walls of your reality. You lie in bed at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering why the gap between who you are and who you want to be feels like a canyon that cannot be bridged. You have the desire, you have the logic, you have the plan. Yet your feet feel like they are encased in concrete. This is not a failure of will. It is not a lack of talent. It is a misalignment of the machine. You are fighting a war against an enemy you cannot see, because that enemy is the part of you that holds the map to your survival. You are attempting to steer a massive ocean liner by standing on the bow and shouting at the waves, while the engine room, the massive churning heart of the ship, has received no orders. The conscious mind, that thinking, analytical part of you that says, I want to be wealthy or I want to be free, is merely the captain on the bridge. But the subconscious is the crew. It is the coal in the furnace. It is the propeller turning in the black water. And if the captain says go north, but the crew has been trained for 30 years to sail south, you will not move an inch toward your destiny. You will drift. You will stall. You will sink. Napoleon Hill, the man who spent a lifetime decoding the minds of kings, tycoons, and inventors, understood this secret better than anyone in history. He didn't just call it positive thinking. That is a weak, diluted interpretation of the truth. He called it the sleeping giant. He understood that the subconscious mind is the connecting link between the finite mind of man and infinite intelligence. It is the medium through which prayers are answered or ignored. It is the soil of the earth. The soil does not care if you plant a deadly nightshade or a majestic oak tree. It does not judge the seed. It simply returns what you plant, multiplied 100-fold. Most people are walking through life planting weeds, then standing back in shock when their garden is choked with thorns. They plant seeds of doubt, seeds of I can't, seeds of it's too hard, and they water these seeds with the powerful fertilizer of emotion, fear. The subconscious mind accepts these thoughts as direct orders. It does not know the difference between a real physical threat and a fear you have concocted in your imagination. If you feed it the image of poverty, it will work tirelessly, night and day, to manifest the conditions of poverty in your life. It will sabotage your opportunities. It will make you stutter in the interview. It will make you miss the alarm clock. It will align your reality with the blueprint you provided. But look at the masters. Look at Thomas Edison. He failed 10,000 times. A logical mind, a purely conscious mind, would have stopped at failure number 3. Logic says, this doesn't work. Quit. But Edison wasn't operating on logic alone. He had impregnated his subconscious with a white-hot obsession. He saw the light bulb glowing in the theater of his mind long before he held the glass in his hand. His subconscious accepted this image not as a possibility, but as an absolute fact that had not yet occurred. And because the order was light, the engine room kept churning. It kept pushing him to the next experiment, the next filament, the next breakthrough. He didn't have hope. He had a command. This is the hidden law that separates the dreamer from the achiever. You must understand that your subconscious mind is subjective. It obeys, but it only obeys a very specific language. It does not speak English or French or Spanish. It speaks the language of vibration and emotion. You can stand in front of a mirror and recite affirmations for 10 hours a day, saying, I am rich, I am successful. But if you feel poor while you say it, your subconscious rejects the words and absorbs the feeling. It ignores the lie and accepts the vibration. You cannot fool the engine room. You cannot fake the frequency. To make this silent partner work for you, you must learn the art of transmutation. You must take the cold, hard logic of your goal and heat it up with the fire of burning desire. This is what Hill meant when he spoke of auto-suggestion. It isn't just repetition, it is emotionalized instruction. You must mix faith with your thought. When you visualize your success, you cannot watch it like a movie screen. You must be in the movie. You must feel the texture of the steering wheel of that car. You must smell the ocean air from that balcony. You must feel the handshake of the deal closing. When you introduce emotion into the thought, you bypass the critical factor, the guard at the gate of your mind, and you drop the seed directly into the fertile soil. Once that seed is planted with the water of emotion, the process becomes automatic. This is why successful people seem to work with a strange, tireless energy. They are not forcing themselves to work. They are being pulled. They are being driven by a compulsion that comes from within. The struggle disappears. The resistance fades. The subconscious takes the wheel, and suddenly, you find yourself waking up earlier with energy. You find yourself noticing opportunities that were always there, but you were previously blind to them. Think of Henry Ford. He was a man with little education, no capital, and no friends in high places. He went up against the entire established order of his time. He wanted to build a V8 engine in a single block. His engineers, the smartest men in the room, told him it was scientifically impossible. They relied on the textbook. Ford relied on the vision. He told them, "Produce it anyway." 6 months passed. Nothing. Another 6 months. Nothing. Ford did not waver. Why? Because the blueprint in his subconscious was already finished. The engine was already running in his mind. He was simply waiting for the physical world to catch up to his mental reality. You must realize that your current circumstances, your bank account, your relationships, your job, are nothing more than the lagging indicators of your past thoughts. They are the echoes of old programs running in the background. Do not look at your current reality and call it the truth. It is just the residue. The truth is what you are building in the unseen right now. If you react to your current lack with sadness, you are replanting the seed of lack. You are creating a loop. You must break the mirror. You must deny the evidence of the senses if that evidence conflicts with the vision you are building. This requires a level of discipline that the average person refuses to cultivate. It requires you to be the guardian of your own mind. You are constantly being bombarded. The news, social media, the complaints of your peers, they are all trying to plant weeds in your garden. They are selling you fear. They are selling you limitation. You must stand at the door of your mind with a flaming sword. You must decide that nothing enters this temple unless it serves the master vision. You are the director of this movie, and you have allowed the extras to start writing the script. That ends today. You must begin the practice of the quiet hour. You need silence to speak to the giant. In the noise of the world, the signal is lost. You must carve out time before the sun rises, before the demands of the day steal your attention, to sit with your subconscious. This is the briefing room. This is where you hand over the flight plan for the day. You sit in the stillness, and you pull up the feeling of gratitude, not for what you have, but for what is coming. Gratitude is the ultimate signal of reception. When you are grateful for something before it arrives, you are telling the universe, it is already done. The subconscious mind works best when it is given a clear, definite chief aim. Ambiguity is the enemy of execution. You cannot say, I want to be better. Better at what? By when? How much? The engine needs coordinates. I will earn this specific amount of money by this specific date in exchange for this specific service. That is a coordinate. Now the mind has a target. It acts like a heat-seeking missile. It will correct course. It will navigate around obstacles. But it cannot hit a target that you have not defined. As you begin this process, you will face resistance. This is natural. The old programming will fight to stay alive. This is what we call homeostasis. Your mind wants to keep you safe, and to the primitive mind, safe means the same. Even if your current situation is miserable, it is familiar. Success is the unknown. The subconscious fears the unknown until you make it familiar through repetition. You must hammer the vision in until the new reality feels more natural than the old one. You must persist until the uncomfortable becomes the comfortable. Do not wait for the right time. The time will never be just right. Do not wait for the perfect plan. The subconscious will give you the plan in fragments. It will give you a hunch, a sudden impulse to call someone, an urge to turn left instead of right. When these flashes of inspiration come, you must act immediately. This is infinite intelligence speaking to you. If you hesitate, if you let logic analyze the hunch to death, you sever the connection. You tell the subconscious, I don't trust you. And the giant goes back to sleep. Action is the bridge between the inner world and the outer world. You are building a skyscraper. Right now, you are in the digging phase. You are clearing out the dirt of old limiting beliefs. You are pouring the foundation of faith. Looks like nothing is happening on the skyline. The world walks by and sees a hole in the ground. Let them look. Let them doubt. They do not know what is rising. They do not know the steel that is being forged in the dark. You keep digging. You keep pouring. Because once that structure breaks the horizon, it will rise with a speed that will dazzle the eyes of the very people who said it couldn't be done. Remember the words of the great Stoics and the great industrialists alike. The world is pliable. It is not fixed. It is fluid, and it takes the shape of the strongest mind that pushes against it. Your subconscious is the press that shapes that reality. If you are weak, the world shapes you. If you are strong, if you are aligned, if your conscious desire and your subconscious programming are married in a union of absolute conviction, the world will bend. Walls will turn into doors. Rejections will turn into redirection. This is not magic. This is mechanics. It is the physics of the soul. You are a broadcasting station. You are sending out a signal every second of every day. Are you broadcasting static? Are you broadcasting confusion? Or are you broadcasting a clear, powerful, harmonious frequency of power, abundance, and service? The universe is simply a mirror reflecting your signal back to you. Change the signal, and you change the reflection. Change the program, and you change the output. So tonight, as you lay your head down, do not let your mind drift into the worries of the day. Do not replay the tapes of your failures. That is unauthorized use of your machinery. Instead, as you drift into the state akin to sleep, that twilight moment where the conscious mind lowers its guard, seize that moment. Implant the command. See yourself standing at the peak. Feel the wind. Hear the applause. Feel the deep resonating peace of victory. Hand that image to the giant as you sleep. Let him work on it while you rest. Wake up tomorrow and step into that image. Walk like the person you saw in the vision. Talk like them. Make decisions like them. Do not wait for the permission of the world. The world is waiting for your command. The law is hidden only to those who refuse to look inward. For you, the veil has been lifted. The partner is ready. The engine is running. The course is set. Now take the wheel. Sail.